How's it going, everybody? Greaticus here. This is going to be the first of hopefully many, depending on if you like it or not, of course, reviews on this channel. On right now, we're going to stick with horror movies because it is October and it is spooky season. For those of you that don't know me outside of the channel, I watch a ton of horror movies just because it's something that always keeps my brain working, trying to figure out either the plot of like psychological horror or just gets my heart pumping for the good scares. But today we are actually talking about boop Midsommar. What we'll do with this series, I'll give an overall ranking for major three parts, which is scare factor, basic movie plot, and rewatchability. So this is what we'll do, and if I'll leave it as a one of three options at the end: rent it, own it, or avoid it. We'll keep it as those three. But yeah, today we're talking about Midsommar, and I wanted to love this movie, and the ratings and stuff for it were phenomenal. I was going in with very high expectations, which could be another reason why it might have fallen off my favor. So sorry, I will try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but I will be telling you the base premise of the film, at least the first 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll try to avoid any major twists or turns that are in it. But movie starts off pretty simple. Uh, Boyfriend's thinking about breaking up with girlfriend. Girlfriend's going through a lot. Girlfriend gets a phone call that her family has been stricken down. I say stricken down. Something has happened, and someone apparently a mass suicide has happened. They get wind that, or they've been planning the boyfriend's friends and whatever colleagues in college. I can't talk right now. I'm kind of nervous. I haven't done one of these before. Sorry. Friends from college that are getting ready for their finals papers and what they're writing for their studies, but are gonna travel with one of their foreign exchange students to Sweden to celebrate his family's 9-month special that only happens every 90 years. So, hooray! Everything's pretty chill. The girlfriend was kind of thrown along because the boyfriend felt bad about what was going on in their current situations. And that's where our adventure really takes off. It takes it about 20 minutes, which, coming from the director of Hereditary, you expect it to be that kind of long, slow grind. And that's what that's what kind of interests me in these films, is the build up to the world and stuff like that. But since they're traveling, it becomes an entirely different setting. You understand that they're friends, you understand that they're going to college, you understand that they're traveling with a friend of theirs that's not from the States. And it's weird to set up take so long to set it up and then jump to an entirely different location, at least in my personal experience from films like this. And once again, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm saying it felt like to me the entire film is setting up for three major jump scares or three major shocking moments. But if it's targeting the horror fandom, or I guess even psychological thriller fandom, it needs to have more twists and turns. I'm trying to figure out ways to explain this without spoiling it. So from now on, we'll have a spoiler warning right about cheer.
Nice.
And I'll try to add a sound effect or something to make you realize that it's about to happen. So major things that happen throughout the film is one of the friends, it being in Sweden and them having classic Viking-esque heritage and stuff like that. There is they have to go through certain the older people, they describe their lives as early childhood is spring, the mid 18s to, I believe they said 40s were summer, so that's the term Midsommar. Also, it's the name of the festival. And the last little bit of their life up to the age of 72 is fall, or fall/winter, that kind of time frame. And one of the friends looks over and asks, "What happens after 72?" And it looks like it's jokingly does the ending gesture. So that puts like a light red flag. But once again, that's not the scare, the attempted scare. He lets everybody know the first day will be two of the elders will perform an Etastoop. And for those of you that have watched like Vikings, or those of you that have kind of watched, I lost the name of the other one. There's a comedy on Netflix that involves the same one, the same Swedish heritage and stuff like that. But so an Etastoop, for those that don't know, is the once you hit a certain age in Swedish culture, you would walk off a tall mountain and fall to your death. And supposedly to them, it's very honorable. It's very powerful. It's very smart. It's very cool. It's very good for them. And the kids don't know what an Etastoop is, except for one who is studying Swedish culture for like his finals. Uh, So he looks as though they're really doing this tomorrow. He's like, yes, it's very honorable. It's what my family does. So they walk up, not expecting it. Of course, first woman walks off, falls, dies. A man walks off and falls straight up. So as you can assume, legs shatter underneath. And I guess that was the first like whoa moment of the film. Like that's what all the build up is for, is to show what's about to come, which is the gruesome scene. And I'll only mention the this one, and I'll let y'all watch it for yourselves and stuff like that. But if you don't like gore, this film is not for you. It's not, like I said, it's a slow paced movie, and it's from the same directors as Hereditary, where there's not, they'll show like two really overwhelming gross moments, and then they'll pass it on, and they won't show it on film, but they'll let your ideas kind of travel for it. So the man that falls straight down survives with both broken legs and isn't saying a word and is just looking up, and you just see the people holding a massive hammer out and giving it to what I assume is either the elder or the family, and they begin to walk towards him. And I won't describe what happens, but that's why the gore factor is definitely on this film. We'll skip to the end. Once again, I don't want to talk about too much of the film. If you want to watch it, I don't want to spoil too much. So all this takes place within the first 40 minutes of the film, and it's about a 2.5 hour film. So, like I said, I won't go through the entire bit. Worst case in these videos, I'll only affect like the first third to the first fourth of a movie, and let you guys figure out if that's the kind of film you want to watch. And if I've given away too much, let me know, and from now on, I'll just avoid it altogether. I won't talk about spoilers. I'll just give you my straight-up Greaticus review, which some of you want, some of you just didn't realize this was coming on the channel, so meh. But the ending of the film is lackluster to me. Like, they set up all these massive events throughout, and they set up a major plot hook early on with the family and the girl. And it's just, for a 2.5 hour film, you expect there to be a little bit more scare, a little bit more intensity factor, and it just wasn't there for me. And it's not saying that it shouldn't be, it's not there for everyone else. Once again, I could be dulled down to the amount of films I've watched this month, which is reaching like 14 horror films, and not all have been great. And unfortunately, this was one of mine. Like, I love the director of Hereditary, and I love his ability to build and create and like kind of settle this debate that horror movies can't be beautiful, because once again, he films it. Everything in this film is filmed beautifully. It's filmed in Sweden in the middle of summer, so everything's beautiful, everything's green, everything's lush, but it just fell short on the like overwhelming dread, and it fell short on just any type of, once again, I'm not hunting jump scares, but I want to not just sit relaxed throughout the film, and that's what I was through this one. So scare factor for me gets maybe like the three scenes were really well done for the kind of like the whoa factor and stuff like that, but for a 2.5 hour film, you expect there to be more than 3 to 4 personally. But I have to give it maybe, I'll give it a 5 for scary, so we'll put that like right cheer. For overwhelming plot, it's a good plot. It's a good idea. It's a good original idea, basing it off a culture, which is good to the fact that they hammer it home that this is done differently here, and the fact that it's mentioned that it's kind of like a community, kind of like tight cult esque vibe, because once again Sweden's not like behind in ages like certain countries and stuff like that. They still understand what's going on, but these people still make their own clothes and stuff, and like their own food and things like that. But for it was once again the plot itself is great. So the plot I give an 8 easily, but just the just how it was done in such a long drawn out factor. And once again, it won so many awards and so many people love this film, and I don't want to like bash it based off my opinions because once again I love the director. He does fantastic work. Hereditary kept most of my friends up for months, just kind of like thinking, and just the first scare of that film is a great shock, and that's what you want, is kind of setting up that stuff's about to go down and there's turmoil, there's conflict. Not saying this film doesn't have it, but it's just it doesn't seem it doesn't seem threatening, and it doesn't seem gripping to me. Once again, this is my personal opinion, and to each their own. I'm not one to tell you that your opinion stinks and mine's not. These are all my basis opinions, and I just didn't love this film. Rewatchability, I give it no. I rent it if you're interested in. So that's my final score is rent it. So overall, like I gave whatever an 8. So we'll round the two together. It was an 8 and a 5. 13, we'll half it. It's about a 6. Like I'm not even gonna give it the 0.5. It's about a 6. Like just for me, expecting this kind of like massive, like he's coming off of another major film. You're expecting this massive like pull and like thriller aspect to it, and you just don't get it in this. And once again, if you love the film, please comment down below parts that I might have missed or parts that I just didn't grasp. Like I said, the three major scenes were done great and they were filmed beautifully, but it just did not hit home for me. So that's my quick review of Midsommar and the basic plot and the first light scare of the film. Like I said, there's a bunch of light, kind of like questionable scares you can give it. Maybe it could get up to 5, but it's just it didn't keep me on my edge, and I was literally laying down texting through a quarter of the film because it was leading up to this big moment, and it was uncomfortable and it just didn't really hit me where it needed to. But if you like these reviews and things like that, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment once again things I might have missed, reasons you like the film. Share it with a friend if you want. Once again, I don't know how well these are going to do, but I'll try to put them out anytime I think a film deserves a review. I used to do it all the time on Facebook. I still do occasionally because people ask my opinion on them. And like, comment, hit the bell if you want to see every time we excuse me, hit the bell every time you want to see us, every time we post. It won't always be reviews, so if you came to this channel for only reviews, there are a lot of horror. We play a few horror gameplays. I play personally kind of harder-esque platformers. We have a couple other people in like a creepy co-op crew that sit down and play horror, and then we have another one that's kind of casual that we just play goofy games that are co-op. But if you found this channel through to a scary movie review, thank you so much. With that, I'll leave you guys to it. Take care, guys. Have a spooky October. Take care.